Mount Vernon Baptist Church is a fascinating story of the providence of God. Founded in 1860, had its first permanent buildings in 1890. This congregation goes back to rural roots in the far west end or northwest quadrant of Richmond. But as the years went on, Mount Vernon thrived as a church. It grew and became a leader in the community. And as the community began to develop, Mount Vernon found itself landlocked by commercial development. And with only 5 contiguous acres, in the 1980s, we simply ran out of space and began to look for ways to expand our congregation. In 1995, the congregation decided to leave behind a church property that had been long paid for, stained glass windows, comfortable padded pews, the security of an established church in an established location, to set out on a faith journey, to look for land that would be suitable for expansion of our ministries and comparable to the vision God had given us to reach our community for Christ, and to begin a new period of church history. After 2 years at Hermitage High School, we moved to the land we now occupy on Knuckles Road. We are blessed with some 47 acres here, and a sense that God has led us to this place to continue a ministry that is now well over 100 years old. Our heart's desire is that in 2010, we could see largely the fulfillment of the vision we had for building a ministry here that would reach our community for Christ and would honor and glorify His name.
I know space is kind of a restriction now for how many classes we can have at certain times and so on. And so now we have the ability, once the building's built, that we can reach out to those places and put more classes together to reach the needs of each and every person out here. And I think the things that it gives the youth the ability to expand and gives them a little bit more room to grow, a little bit, and getting outside of the trailer, shall we say, and into actual big rooms where they can, fellowship a little bit more. And it gives us a place to mingle more. I mean, right now the halls are kind of small when you come out of the sanctuary now. So having just a place for people to get together and fellowship, talk, and expand on, Christian conversation, things like that, I think it's a big plus.
We have come to the place in our development where our facilities are full. We don't have classrooms to expand. Our students are housed in modular units, trailers, where they have been for nearly 10 years. And they need to have a facility that will meet their growing ministry needs. Our children are piled on top of each other. We've had such a great response from the community. And in our worship center, we're having to meet 3 times every Sunday morning. And sometimes that's not enough. So our heart's desire is to build a facility that will enable us to continue to grow, to make the space. We'll always be open 7 days a week. We'll always be a place that uses every opportunity we have in the way of facilities to expand the gospel.
It'll be nice to have the office space for the ministers to be able to work more effectively out of. It'll be great to have more rooms for Sunday school, for more people to be able to participate in that. So I think it's going to be very much where it's going to facilitate a lot of things going on here at the church.
What is it that brought us to Mount Vernon? Kids program. We had been kind of searching around for a place to have, I guess, like a sanctuary for our kids to grow up in, something kind of like what we had when we were growing up as kids. And we'd looked around, hadn't really found that place or connection until we tried here. And we'd heard about their youth program, their kids programs, and then of course their kids programs for preschool and things like that. We decided to try it out and got them involved in the programs and liked it, and have been there ever since then.
Well, Mount Vernon was the place where we had, as Mom said, we're hopping from church to church, and when we went to this church, I thought, this is the church we're going to stay. And then we met all these great people and did all these great things, and it's just felt like home.
Well, I was fortunate enough to be a part of the property partnership committee that formulated the plans for this building and the expansion. I'm not good at seeing something in abstract, but the visuals have just been awesome to see what we expect to do, and what this is going to do is to fulfill our command that was given to us by Christ to go out and teach everyone, to bring them to Him. And this is going to give us the ability to reach that goal that He has for us.
To facilitate bringing more people into worship with God. I think that's the most important thing that we do, is really bringing and leading people into the presence of God. And I think with this campaign to build a new, larger sanctuary and more classroom space, I think that will facilitate doing that for more people in the community, in addition to the people that are already here.
Mount Vernon's already transformed lives, and I think that our hope with the new building is that it'll be able to transform even more lives than it already has.
This Imagine campaign is really an effort made to provide ministry for families who have not yet become part of the Mount Vernon family. Persons whose needs now we can only imagine, but who will one day walk these halls, who will one day sit in the worship center and offer their hearts to Christ. When the Spirit of Christ is in a congregation, change happens. And as the community changes, the church has to change. And through every challenge, this church has been up to the test. And so we feel proud of the fact that God has called us, has equipped us, has challenged us. And I'm proud of the fact that this congregation has responded to that challenge and has taken on this faith journey.
This facility is going to offer the expansion of programs that we currently do not have space to accommodate.
Look at the things that it's going to do for our youth and how that's going to grow the youth program and bring people in. A lot of people around here are looking for stuff for their youth to be involved in or their kids to be involved in. I mean, that's what attracted a lot of people here, and I think building something a little bit larger that gives you a little bit more room to grow, it's a big thing. You know, there's a lot of other programs and opportunities out there that we could bring into the church to reach out to them.
I think it's important for everyone to understand that this Imagine campaign is not really directed at the people who are here now. Many of the people who contribute to this campaign are planting trees they'll never sit under. It is a gift of sacrifice that we are doing now in building this campaign, so that those who come and participate in this generation and the ones that follow will come to a facility that is geared to help them make that connection with God.
And then when you come in the doors, you figure out, church isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. It is warm, it is fun, it is exciting. It is alive. It's not just coming to church on Sundays and sitting and listening to a sermon and going home. There's something that draws you to want to participate. It's not just part of a club. It's capturing your heart.